Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Good vibes to the Immaculate Collective. Happy Tuesday from wherever you guys are tuning in from across the world. I hope you guys are doing very, very well. I just want to let you know off the top that I am not doing all that too well. I am, for some reason, feeling a little bit under the weather. Shouts out Jesse Lingard. The weather! That's right. The weather. I am feeling a little bit under the weather. I have no idea why. It might be because I'm just tired and I'm feeling a little bit exhausted. I have no idea, but I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. So I do apologize in advance if the energy is just a little bit on the lower side of things, you know. But yeah, I mean, a promise is a promise. I had to do a live stream today to chat with you guys about the state of affairs with respect to football and, of course, Manchester United. Today, I really wanted to talk a little bit about Kobbie Konundrum because I think Kobbie has been at the center focal point of a lot of Man United fans' conversations. And we'll definitely talk about Kobbie Konundrum around the corner. But as these shows go, it'll pivot and go anywhere else. It can go anywhere else because that's what's going to happen. You know, you guys are going to ask me a question and then we're going to go off topic and then we're going to have a good time. And that's just how this show goes, you know. You know what I mean? But yeah, what's going on, everybody? Who's checking in right now? Who's checking in today? We got Jay Connor joining. What's going on, Jay Connor? He says, "Evening, John. Kobbie needs to man up, mates, and needs to understand he needs to fight for his place." Definitely a topic we will discuss, and that's definitely a side that I think in this sort of two-sided debate probably is representative of how some Manchester United fans feel. Not all, but we'll definitely get into it a little bit more a little bit later. Katie Marie in the chat. What's going on, Katie? What's going on, Vish? What's going on, Rohan? What's going on, Nick in the chat as well? Rohan says, "I have an opinion, but it might be a bit rogue." Well, we'll talk a little bit about it. You know, I think the reason why we have conversations is because, you know, opinions are opinions, and I think it's important that we share how we feel, you know, and I think it's important that, you know, you and I might have differing or disagreeing opinions, but there's nothing wrong with, you know, having different thoughts and having different stances. You know, I think that's what makes the world a beautiful place. It gives us an opportunity to really sort of talk about where we sit, where we stand, and be able to break things down. You know, what's the point? You know, we can have a conversation, we can have a chat. You know, DB Cooper joining us. What's going on? King got with some wicked comment. I'm not even thinking about even reading that. Nick Bradford says, "John, you're not feeling well? Damn, what's your go-to feel better soup? I love me a pho. Shouts out to my pho lovers. You know I love me a bowl of pho. Dice me up some jalapenos in that. Throw some cilantro in that. Piping out with some slices of beef and some tripe and let me know if anybody else has some good healing soup suggestions, but I'll tell you what mine is. Mine is a delicious Korean soup wise. I think for me, Korean soup, whenever I feel under the weather, what I do is I don't even know if it's Korean. It's just what I do. I pour some water. I pour some water into a pot. I boil it, right? And then I crack maybe 2 or 3 eggs, right? And then I whisk the eggs. I break up the yolk and I whisk it. Not too much, but whisk it to really kind of like break down the protein a little bit, yeah? And then I whisk it a bit, and then I spin the hot water, spin the block, I spin the hot water, and then I pour the egg into that hot water. I hit it with some salt, hit it with some pepper, yeah? Then if I have it, I cut up a little bit of scallions and toss that bad boy in there. And then I hit with a quick little dollop or two, like a fat dollop of sesame oil. Delicious. But Rodrigo in the chat with a bang-in recommendation as well. He says Korean soup, kimchi jjigae. Kimchi jjigae is a soup that doesn't heal me. It's a soup that powers me. Very, very big difference there. Kimchi jjigae, I can't have it if I'm feeling like under the weather. If I'm under the weather and I have kimchi jjigae, I think the kimchi jjigae will bring me down more because it's gonna be spicy as hell. But yeah. Yub says simple tomato soup. Yub, you and I are in the same boat because the second soup I was gonna say, if it wasn't a Korean soup or my household soup, I was literally gonna say a tomato soup, like simple, not too creamy, you know what I mean, and not too overly sweet or salty, you know, because it's like sometimes I'll be getting tomato soup at some restaurants and then it just be tasting like they just dumped a block of salt cube in there, but not too sweet, not too salty. You know, just the right amount of consistency to be able to grab me a nice slice of bread. You know, it could be a brioche, it could be a sourdough, it could be toast, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Just, mwah. You know what I'm saying? Dip, mwah. Sometimes a little shred of cheese up in there. You know what I'm saying? Halim Malkawi says tomato soup and bust some lemons and juice in there. Ooh, Halil knows what's up, man. My man knows what's up. My man knows what's up. John Fire in the chat says, John, when are you back on United View? John, I will find some time for sure. I will find some time. I'll have to speak to Flex. I haven't had a chance to keep up. I've been so busy. It's just been very, very busy. I've been all over the place and yeah, it's been a lot. But I have a very special announcement, which I will drop at the end of the show. So stick around for that. Yub says, John, cooking channel incoming. I did some cooking content before and some people were like, oh, what's that about? I enjoy cooking. It's just a lot of time. I just don't really have the time to do it as much as often as I want. But Jay Connor says, love from Belfast from Northern Ireland. Shouts out to you, Jay, checking in from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Where are you based? I'm based here in New York, my man. New York City. Vispo in the chat, what's going on, my man? Pedro says, realistically, Kobbie should leave Man United. He has been notorious for messing. Manchester United have been notorious for messing up young talent. Pedro, we're not doing that. Pedro, we ain't doing that. All right, we ain't doing that. Sidiano in the chat says, we get kimchi in Northeast India. Oh, very interesting. And it's damn spicy. Also, momo with ghost pepper sauce. Okay, so if I have momo with ghost pepper sauce, that's not healing me. That's not a healing food. That's a mess you up so much to a point where you sweat so much you pass out kind of food. You know what I mean? Nick Raffer says, all right, I'm gonna have to try that. I'm definitely down for a good vibes cooking show after that well-spoken plan. I might have to just whip out like my pans and put some cameras in front of my stove and might have to chop up some food content. You know what I mean? Case later said, did someone say mukbang? Nope. Time. I didn't say mukbang. We don't do mukbang up in here. You know, I can't eat like that, and you know Jimmy can eat like that. You know what I mean? Elite Footy Talks, thank you for subscribing. DJ Witch is in the chat says, oi? What's oi? What's oi? You're gonna have to explain that a little bit more in detail, my man. The best Bosniak in the chat says Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. The answer is very simple, and you can record this and you can share it. When you ask me Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, I have one answer. It's Park Ji-sung. It's Park Ji-sung. Don't sit here and talk to me about no damn Ronaldo or Messi. It's Park Ji-sung all day, every day. In this channel, we don't pick between Ronaldo and Messi because there's one simple answer, and it's Park Ji-sung. Young O in the chat says Park Ji-sung. Facts. Eitan Haas in the chat, what's going on? He says, John, I'm going to 2 United games this winter, Newcastle and Wolves, courtesy of the United. What the hell? Well, I don't know how you got that, my man, but congratulations. Enjoyed the game. Yoop says, never seen a more predictable answer in my life. Kathy EP says, 역시 우리 아저씨. there will not be a calling of John in here. 아저씨. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm still young. I'm still hip. A hip hop, a hippie to the hip hop to. All right, no 아저씨. Don't do that. We ain't no 아저씨 up in here. Sahil says, John, who's your most favorite artist, most played artist? This year, I think it was. Let me check for you. I had it screenshotted, so I probably should be able to give you the answer quite quickly. My most played artist. Oh shoot, I don't have it screenshotted, but I do have one of the top songs that I had played this year, which was Chapter 16 by Dave featuring Kano. Another song is Maybe We Could Be a Thing with featuring by Jesse Barrera. Another one is This Bag by Mac Ayers. Shouts out to Mac. My number one played song though is an old song called Let Me Live in Your City by Paul Simon. Mark and MUFC fan says big up bro and big up to the chat. Big up yourself, my man. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Brian in the chat says LMAO 형님 John. If I'm older than you, I'll take young. You don't need to be 형님. You know what I mean? New Spring checking in from Tehran. Thank you for checking in. New Spring, appreciate you. Youngo says the real of you mentioning your favorite in each league and your GOAT went viral in Korea. I know. My entire family sent me that clip. It just is everywhere. It literally came from everywhere. My even relatives that I hadn't spoken to in a while were sending it to me. Dr. Mix-a-Lot says Thomas Mueller. Well, Doc, that's your thing, but for me, respectfully, you know. Brian E. Jr. in the chat says, we got a yummy group for World Cup, easy 9 points. I made a video about that, and you guys are probably wondering why hasn't John talked about the World Cup yet. I made a video about it, and then I didn't like the way it came out because it wasn't aggressive enough. I need to be more aggressive. I need to be more screaming Korea, because I told y'all this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I told y'all this, I'm gonna say it again. Y'all can clip me, y'all can do whatever you want. I'm gonna say it again. South Korea World Cup 2026 champions. We, in the words of Maddie, we are there. We're there. South Korea FIFA World Cup 2026 champions. 손흥민 lifting that trophy in front of everybody. Okay? I said it. I said it. I ain't backing down from it. Every time I've been asked this question in an interview since the start of the summer, I've been saying Korea. Don't at me. Don't question it. Just let it rock. All right, just let it rock. Manga in the chat says Bruce Lee or Goku. I got mad respect for Bruce Lee, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna go Goku. Amir Azim says hi, Unc. What's going on? Thank you for joining in. Techers in the chat says free Kobbie, man. We're gonna talk about Kobbie. Let's lock in. Let's get. I feel like you guys are here. You don't want to hear about me talking about no damn cooking or anything else. You want to hear about Kobbie menu and how I feel about all of it, and we'll definitely get involved. We'll definitely talk about it. So do get involved. Get in the chat and let me know what your thoughts are on Kobbie menu. Just want to make sure I have my comments ready to go. So I'm like, this noise is killing me. It's like ta-ring, ta-ring. Like, where is this noise coming from? It's just driving me nuts. Does anybody know where's da-ring, da-ring? Because the enable sound thing is gone. Why in the world is the sound still da-ring, da-ring? Boom, boom, boom. Jimmy V says, we back on the bike, friends. Can I get some hype? Hey, Jimmy, go get your exercise, man. I love that. Keep doing your thing. Let's talk about Kobbie menu, man. Let's talk about Kobbie menu. Manchester United have it's a club that is known for their youth, right? I mean, youth and talking about youth has been in our DNA for as long as the club has existed. The logo, the motto or slogan, whatever it was called, slogan for Manchester United, it has always been youth, courage, and success. But when you talk about youth, oh, you know what, Nick, maybe y'all not hearing it because I'm look. I'm hearing it. Trust me, everybody hearing it. Ring, ring, ring. You know what I mean? But anyways, youth, courage, and success has always been our motto. And in the past, in the years of Sir Alex Ferguson, when you're talking about success, which was for many of us at the time, it felt like a given, right? The portion of youth and courage was something that was also in many ways, it felt like a given. You know what I mean? It truly did. It was always Sir Alex Ferguson who gave those young players a chance. That was what he sort of became even more famous for. And it was also his way of playing with a level of courage and risk-taking and attacking. And that was what, gave us that energy. That was what gave us that appreciation for what Manchester United Football Club was about. But in my 11 to 12 years of having done content, I've always been very vocal in expressing my carefulness and the caution when it comes to speaking about young players, because I always truly do feel like at the end of the day, young players, especially in the modern era, it's even more difficult for them to break in, and it's even more difficult for them to find opportunities because football has become such a different game to what it was back 20, 30 years ago. Some things have changed for the better, some things have changed for not so good, But I'm going to be real with you. When it comes to somebody like Kobbie Mainoo, I genuinely feel like Kobbie Mainoo is a player that I think is a generational talent. And that says a lot. That says a lot from somebody that's very careful about picking up young players. I'm very careful about how much I compliment or how much I talk about young players because I don't want to jump the gun, But Kobbie Mainoo is a player that I genuinely do believe that has everything. But for some reason at this moment in time, he isn't able to find his way into this team. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. As a Man United fan and as a fan of Kobbie Mainoo, it's very hard to see because I really want Kobbie Mainoo to be a part of this team, and I really want Kobbie Mainoo to succeed, and I really want Kobbie Mainoo to flourish. But I want Man United to flourish as well. And it's hard to find the balance between the two, especially when Ruben Amorim clearly feels like his system is at its most optimum when Kobbie isn't in the starting 11. And whether you agree with that analysis or not, at the end of the day, Ruben Amorim, he selects the team, and Ruben Amorim selects the team for which he believes will get the best results. And I think a lot of United fans just a little bit peeved in that respect. And I think that is a sentiment that I feel like as somebody that wants United to succeed and Kobbie Mainoo to succeed, it's like it's such a shame that you can't have, at this moment in time at least, can't have best of both worlds, And Miguel B here in the chat says something very important here. He says, "Who would you take out for Kobbie Mainoo? I don't really see where his fit is." And that's the part where it's not so easy, and that's the part where it's not such a simple, 1 + 1 is 2, quick maths kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's not an easy conversation to have. Rico A says Amorim won't get as much stick if he plays Kobbie Mainoo for a couple of games and it doesn't work, but he can't. Well, that's a good point, Rico, because I'll give you the answer now. That is very unrealistic for somebody for Ruben Amorim right now, because he can't afford play poorly for a couple of games. Our stability, while we seem to have improved on a points perspective versus where we were last season, our stability is very, very shaky at this moment in time. You can see it amongst Man United fans. United fans, we win and they're like, oh my God, this is looking good. Five games in a row. Oh my, undefeated. Oh, we're fantastic. And then we lose one game or 2 games and it's like, oh shit, everything is bad again. It's like, oh, our reactions are so completely polar opposites when the way our results are based. It's clearly not a risk that Ruben Amorim can take at this moment in time. It's hard. And it's hard for Ruben Amorim because he believes in his system and he believes in his team, but it's hard for him to basically be able to, do I want to say compromise? I think it's hard, man. Because you can only expect so much from your manager, right? William Gardner says Kobbie is not defensive enough to replace Casemiro and he's not offensive enough to replace Bruno. And I think that's where Ruben Amorim kind of is drawing the line a little bit. And I think Ruben Amorim believes that Kobbie Mainoo is much better as an offensive option than a defensive option. And I agree. I think Kobbie Mainoo should be higher up the line, higher up the pitch. He shouldn't be a sitting DM. I think he's much better ball carrying and pushing the game forward and looking to find himself in goal scoring opportunities. I think that's what Kobbie Mainoo's best option is. And he definitely isn't going to be playing a wide attacking 10, which is not going to be, which is obviously occupied by Cunha and Mbeumo. So if that's the case, then Kobbie's only real option is playing ahead of Bruno. And that's the conundrum. And that's the conundrum. Everybody was like on Twitter. On Twitter, I was seeing so many people saying like, "Yo, John, like, what the hell? Like, look, he's giving chances to Aiden Heaven. No, he has no choice. De Ligt is injured. He had no choice. He had to play Aiden Heaven. And I like Aiden Heaven. I think from a development standpoint, I got so much time for somebody like Aiden Heaven. You know what I mean? And this is the dilemma, right? If Ruben Amorim genuinely believes that his side is at its best, is at its optimal stance to be able to get a result, and if Kobbie Mainoo isn't a part of that, then we have to figure out an answer between Kobbie Mainoo and Ruben Amorim. In the sense that either Ruben needs to fix up and fix that squad, or Kobbie Mainoo needs to push himself to find himself in contention to start ahead of Bruno Fernandes. It's a very, very difficult position, but that is where we are. The one thing I'm for sure accepting is that at this moment in time, we need to keep winning. And at this moment in time, we need to keep progressing up the table. I don't know how. I don't know what. I don't know if it means us dominating teams every single game, if it means us scraping by. Right now, the only way Ruben Amorim's going to get the pressure off of his shoulders is to continue to produce results in whatever fashion. And if that means Kobbie Mainoo can't get game time, I hate that so freaking much, but it is what it is. And I can't challenge Ruben Amorim because as a manager, I need to see him win. And if he's winning and he's producing results, then so be it. William Gardner says the problem is we have Mount as well, and it's really weird. But Kobbie seems to have been learning way too many different positions at once, playing in the 10 role, then the midfield too. It seems that's another thing is that Kobbie is young, man. Mace is older. Mace is much more experienced. Mace is a young player, but he's older than Kobbie. Mace has been there and done it for Chelsea, so he has that experience. And funny enough, Mace has also played in this setup. He's played with a back three. So the system is a little bit different. The situation between the two is a little bit different. But I agree with that part about Kobbie is spot on. I think Kobbie has had to play so many different positions, and he's been thrown around everywhere. You know, 100%. Felix Villa in the chat says, imagine an Anderson Mainu midfield too. That would be fantabulous. That would be the next young midfield combination. That would be beautiful. You know, absolutely. Hardbread says Mason Mount is football heritage. You know what's you know what's heritage, Hardbread? Your profile picture. Because I think I see a Pikachu. W Pikachu. All right, W Pikachu. The Primote says 3 center backs is not United Football IMO. Mainu shines in a 4-4-2 or 4-3-2-1. I agree. I think Mainu does shine in a 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2. And I hope and pray that there is a point where where Kobbie gets to be a part of this team. We don't know how long Bruno Fernandes is going to be able to play at this high octane level of football. We don't. I even think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there was either a report or Ruben Amorim said it himself. He said something along the lines of like, Bruno, you know, he'll probably be playing in a limited role next year. And even if that wasn't said publicly, I wouldn't be surprised. Bruno Fernandes is getting older. He's not getting any younger. Forever young. I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever and ever. Forever young. I want to be forever young. Anyways, I would love to see Kobbie Mainoo be a part of this team. And you know what? I hope and pray, of course, but I do believe that he will in some capacity. I do see a future with Kobbie Mainoo. I do see a future with Kobbie Mainoo becoming a legend, and I can see that happening. Whether with Ruben Amorim or after Ruben Amorim, whatever it may be. He is Manchester United. He should be Manchester United. And I say that with the greatest respect to Ruben Amorim as well. You know, it's not easy for Ruben Amorim to be in the position that he's in. You know? Yub says, I miss Mason Mount as a Chelsea fan, seeing him graduate out of the academy and win us the UCL. I thought he was a blue for life. Seeing him broke my heart for real. Well, Yub, you can come watch Mace play for Manchester United. Jay Connor says, agreed, brother. He will be fine. He's 19. Don't let that ego get ahead of himself. It's Kobbie 19. I thought he was 21 or something. Yeah, he's 20. That's 19, 20. Similar enough. But that's the thing, is I don't even think Kobbie has an ego. I don't think Kobbie is about an ego like situation at all. I think every time I've spoken to somebody that's been around Kobbie or spent time with Kobbie, they have nothing but fantastic things to say about Kobbie Mainoo. And I as well. Every time I've ran into him, he's been nothing but class. Nothing but class. You're good, Jay. You're good, Jay. Semelia says, speaking of Mason Mount, do you think Mount could or would be better if he wasn't 7? I have a thing with that number situation because I always feel like a player signing shouldn't be given the 7. I think a 7 or an iconic number of any football club, you should never sign a player and give the number. I think the player needs to play at the club and then be earned that number. Do you know what I mean? And that's nothing against Mace. You guys here know how much time and love I got from Mace. You know what I mean? But I always questioned that move because I was like, did we really need to give him that number 7 off the rip? I would have loved Mace to start the season with a different number and then play well and then be given the 7 at some point. You know what I mean? But look, at the end of the day, for me, Mace's situation wasn't really about the number. Obviously, the conversation in the beginning was about the number, but it was more about the injury situation. I think Mace, unfortunately, just couldn't stay fit because of that unfortunate injury circumstance. You know, but we've moved on again about it. You know, we've moved on. Grant says, give Kobbie time. He has time on his side and has experienced players to learn from. I would love that. I would love that. But the thing with Kobbie Mainoo right now is that Kobbie is in a very important period in his career. Kobbie Mainoo is in a very important moment in his career because it's the developmental stages. He needs to keep playing games. He needs to keep kicking ball. He needs to get involved. you know? And for a player that was incredibly important when he was kicking ball under Ten Hag, you know, boss man 10-10. For him to be reduced back into that bench role is probably not easy to take. It isn't. I'm sure it isn't the case, you know? But in an ideal world, he gives himself time. He gives himself time to mature and to grow. But if there was an opportunity for him to do so abroad or somewhere else on a loan period, I'll do that all for the sake. Here, let me say this before I get back into the comments. Let me just say this, okay? And then I'll just break down the comments. Right? Let me just say this about Kobbie. Do you know how blessed we are that somebody like Kobbie Mainoo, right, at this moment in time, does not want to leave Man United because he still loves playing for the club and he loves the club, and all he wants to do is just go on a loan simply during this period because he wants to be a part of that World Cup team? Do you know how incredible that is for us? Whether y'all agree with the way Kobbie is feeling or not is beside the point. I'm purely speaking from the perspective of a young player like Kobbie Mainoo, who is incredibly talented, who wants to still stay at the club and believes that all he needs is just a loan period during this World Cup stretch to be able to prove to Thomas Tuchel that he belongs on that plane to America. I'll give him that. I will more than happily let him go out on loan. Samelia says Kobbie Mainoo is acting more professional than Mo Salah. Yikes. I didn't say that. That was Samelia. I didn't say that. And for me, as Manchester United Football Club, we need to be able to find an answer. If we're going to protect Man United, and if we're going to protect Kobbie Mainoo, we need to figure, like, a non-negotiable has to be, at this moment in time, let Kobbie go on loan. That's just my greed. It's my selfishness, right? I would love for Man United to be like, yo, look, Kobbie's been good for us. He's been good, and he's going to come good for us. We got to protect our asset that is the incredibly talented Kobbie Mainoo. Let's make sure that he's at least happy. So send him out on loan and bring in a DM or a replacement on a loan basis. If Kobbie Mainoo is going to come on for 20 minutes and 10 minutes or so, we can find a talent on loan to be able to bring him. You know what I'm saying? BTL Pods in the chat says, John, your consistency is unmatched. Keep it on, my brother. BTL Pods, thank you so much for the love. Appreciate you, my man. Vish in the chat, numero uno moderator. Vish says, what was good is that Kobbie Mainoo came on for Casemiro and did a superb job as a 6. If we can train him there, then his 6 and 8 place can push him in the first team. I think he can play both. I think he can play the 6, the 8, the 10. I think he could play anywhere. I think Kobbie Mainoo is incredibly talented to be able to play across the midfield positions. You know? But it's the experience and the caliber and the resurgence of Casemiro that's keeping him in this side. And then Bruno Fernandes is Bruno Fernandes. You can't drop him. You know? Case later says he needs to be loaned to a club that can truly help develop over the second half of the season. I would love to send him to Napoli. I would absolutely love to send him to Napoli. It's a great place right now. Serie A is fantastic, and it's an opportunity for him to be able to play in a flourishing team, play in a flourishing league, play in a flourishing with players around him that are great. As long as I know that he's going to be able to start every game, that's all I care about. You know. Angel Tenor, a 10R says, do you think we would be top 4 if we went back to 4-3-3 at this moment in time? No. I can't even remember what 4-3-3 used to look like at Man United. Damn. Yub says, with some players going to AFCON, this could be a vital time for Kobbie to get game time for Man United. And if he doesn't do well proving himself, then a loan would be perfect for him. Exactly. And I think right now is such a huge moment after the AFCON. I think the latest report that I saw, it might have been Laurie Whitwell, shout out Laurie, that was talking about it. But I think that they said that Kobbie's situation is contingent upon the AFCON situation, because if Kobbie, if the players, if Mbeumo, Amad, and Mazraoui, all 3 of them leave, right? Where does Kobbie play in that role? He doesn't play a wing back. Certainly doesn't play a wing back. So then where do you play him? I would say Kobbie plays an attacking 10 in that sense, right? But is he really that kind of a player? I don't know. Maybe you can play Bruno there, and then you could play Kobbie alongside Casemiro. I don't know. But Kobbie has to be able to get some time to fit into this team. Yeah, Cameron Kelsey says Bruno to the 10, Kobbie then plays where Bruno is. Yeah, I would love that. I don't like Bruno in a wide area, but if it has to be the case where Kobbie has to play, then yeah, let him play in that role. Or here's another one. How about this? Or while the players are gone for AFCON, maybe, just maybe, play 4-2-3-1. It's not a bad shout. Real Gunner in the chat says, how did Man United do today in the Champions League? Gunner. Real Gunner. I was having a good time. I was having a great time. And then you just absolutely just tormented my vibes. You just absolutely tormentionated my vibes right now. Absolutely. I love United Tears. Come. Get out! Cameron Kelty says, when do you think we see Lacey minutes? I don't think we'll be seeing that much of Lacey's Shea Lacey minutes. You know what I mean? I don't think so. One MUF asks Carter says, love you, Johnny. Love you back. Appreciate y'all for checking in. Appreciate every single one of y'all is tuning in. For real. Soul Cal Studios says, I'll get out. No. Soul Cal Studios, come. Sit down. Soul Cal Studios, sit down. Not you. Real Gunner on TikTok, get out. Respectfully. If he's gonna make me cry because United aren't in the Champions League, then I don't want that. Yeah. Soul Cal Studios, you can sit down. Chill out. Sam FJ says, bro, how do you feel about Sergio Ramos? No, we're not doing this again. Sergio Ramos is not coming to Manchester United. We don't need Sergio Ramos. We did this before. Harleo says, John, why are you ignoring every statement I make? Let me tell you something real quick. I have 3 screens on. Here, and the comments are flying. So you're going to have to forgive me, okay? I know there's only 19 on Instagram, but there's over 200 people tuning in on the stream across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, everywhere. So the comments is kind of, all right? Hard Brett says, are you going to sing today? If you want me to. Felix Villa says, Christmas stream? I'm going to have to ask the missus. If she says yeah, then yeah, sure. But if not, no. Sam F says, John, listen, where are you from? If you say USA, then your opinion on Premier League clubs inherently makes your opinion inherently what? Irrelevant? What? Why? Sam F says, and no one in the UK calls Manchester United. It's simply United or UTD for short. What the hell are we doing here? Sam. Aiden Parks says, thoughts on Sonny's return? Beautiful. Got emotional seeing Sonny in London. Now, I'm not even a Spurs fan. Cameron, thank you for tuning in. Halil says, thoughts on Rashford coming back from his loan? I don't think he's coming back. I think his loan's ending, but he's not coming back. He's definitely going to find a new club. Yub says they don't need Ramos. They need John at center back with Matty at Chem and with Mbeumo away. Naeem. Run it back. Love that. I'm going to say it right now. I'm better than Sergio Ramos at center back. I'm better than Sergio Ramos at center back. Don't challenge me. Samelia says, John, come visit us in Texas for a game. Samelia, hold that thought. Wait till the end of the stream. We got about 15 more minutes left. I have a big announcement. A big announcement, okay? Hold that thought. I have a big one. Okay? Vispo in the chat says, seeing John play footy sounds like a nightmare. Vispo, I got Vispo. You're going to be the first person tonight that's going to be sent down to the Infinity Castle. My football skills, immaculate. You, down. The Infinity Castle, down. Down. Real Gunner, I don't know if you're still here, but just in case you're here, down. Infinity Castle. Don't come back out. Down. You deal with the demons. You better have some cool breathing technique, because down. K. Jer says, hey, John, when are you going to come to Africa? I would love to go to Africa sometime in the next year or two. Ideally next year, though. I want to visit either at this point right now on my list, I had Nigeria or Ghana or Kenya. Those are the three places I really had. But I mean, if you have any other recommendations, you let me know. Felix Villa says John is from Korea, so his points are valid. Well, I'm just sharing my thoughts. William Gardner says, can you come to New Zealand? William Gardner, New Zealand is at the tippity top of my destination dream places. I would love to visit New Zealand. Dr. Mix-a-Lot with a super chat. Thank you so much. Big up, Dr. Absolutely love that from Doc. Thank you so much. He says, big fan, Johnny. I'm trying to be like you. Keep doing the thing, bro. Proud of you. You trying to be like me, Doc? You're way cooler than me. You're a doctor. Thank you so much for that, Doc. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. William Gardner says, come have a summer Christmas with us because it's the summertime right now. Oh my God. You know what somebody was telling me? Somebody was telling me that what they do, and they obviously are very well off and in a very good position in their lives to be able to do this, but they avoid summer by living in New York during the summertime, and then when wintertime comes here, they fly and live in Australia or something like that, where they can avoid the summer or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Sick. Vibes. Dr. Mix-a-Lot says, now let Kobbie Mainoo come to Bayern Munich. Excuse me. Kobbie Mainoo ain't going nowhere. I mean, look, Doc, Doc, let's drill real quick. If Kobbie Mainoo gets to play every single minute at Bayern Munich, feeding passes, receiving the ball on the half turn from Kim Min-jae, and feeding that through ball to Elise, and then the cross to Harry Kane, and then scoring goals, boom. I'm for it. For a loan, we'll send Kobbie on loan. That's it. On loan. We're not sending him perma. Nick Bradford says, I got an old coworker / buddy in South Africa I want to visit one day. That's sick, man. That's sick. We got friends from all over the world. Vispo says, I told you the Knicks was getting cooked by the Celtics. What happened? I don't want to talk about the Knicks right now. I don't want to talk about the Knicks. Dr. Mix-a-Lot says, so I'm right a little bit. Just a little bit. Son of Gondor. What's going on? My favorite name on YouTube right now. John, do you have a favorite midfielder for summer signing? I think it has to be either Elliot Anderson or Adam Wharton. I'll throw Carlos Baleba in there as well. But United needs to be able to push for all three of them because we need to at least sign two. Yeah? We need to sign two. Yeah? Halil says, Kobbie Mainoo, future Ballon d'Or winner. We love that. We love that, absolutely. William Gardner says, we just had the New Zealand derby last week. We was proper mint. 5 games, 5 wins against the Phoenix. Oh, sick. That's cool. I don't really know too much about New Zealand football. Dr. Mixalot said, Mainoo for Goretzka. Nope, pass. DJ Ricky Business in the chat says, that was too good. Kim to Kobbie to Lisa to Kane. Agreed. Loan only. So DJ Ricky, you and I, we're in the same boat. We got the same energy right now. Yeah. DJ Ricky says, actually, no loan either. Keep him at the club. No, never mind. What I just said, bring that back. Retract that. Let's bring it back. We're not on the same boat anymore. We were, and then now we're not. Okay. Vispo says Doc and John are the same age. Excuse me? I am young. If I'm not mistaken, I'm younger than Doc. Okay. Yub says, John, who do you want to win AFCON? Good question. Y'all know I got a soft spot for my Nigerian family, but unfortunately they couldn't make it. I would love to see Senegal win it. No, sorry, what am I saying? Cameroon. I would love to see Mbuma lift it, or even Cote d'Ivoire. You know, I would love, or even Morocco for that matter. Why not? I would love to see an African team with united representation win it. You know what I mean? Both 45, says Vispo. Infinity Castle. I don't know how you managed to come out, my brother, but go back in there. Infinity Castle. Boom. Son of Gondor says Cunha has to step it up for that AFCON time. Yeah, he absolutely does. And this entire squad needs to step it up. Entire squad needs to step up. JXS says, I won't be happy unless Portugal or Canada win. You need them to win the AFCON. Huh? Srini Vaspai says, I would love to see an African team win the AFCON. Oh, yeah, seriously. Felix Villa says John is permanently 29. Facts. I'm permanently 29. I'll take that. Wait, why couldn't you give me a lower age? Fallbush says, I feel like when Kobbie Mainoo came on, he just breathed that calmness and collectiveness into our team. We needed more facts. Absolutely. Grant Robertson in the chat says, John, who do you think will win the World Cup? Grant, I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. And I want all of y'all to record this because you're going to share it and you're going to tell the world how I feel because I feel this from the bottom of my heart. South Korea, FIFA World Cup 2026 champions. I said it. Boom. Come at me. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. Taemingo all day. All right? Taemingo all day. South Korea all day, every day. Ibrahim Akhtar says, can you try imitating Ruben Amorim's accent? Never. I can't even if I could, I wouldn't. I don't even know how to do that. Casa Places, I think he means the World Cup. Yeah. It was a joke. Yeah. But Portugal have a good chance. Yeah, for sure. I don't know about Canada, but Canada always seems to surprise me every time they play. So, but yeah, I think all in all, I would love to see Kobbie Mainoo be given a chance to play for this team, figure out a way we can implement him. But if not, then let him go out on loan. Srinivas Pai says England best chance to win. I actually did predict or think England it was going to win. Yub says Canada is winning. Our squad is very well rounded. I would love to see Canada win the World Cup. How sick would that be? Or even Mexico. Oh my God! Imagine Mexico or Canada won the World Cup in a World Cup that was hosted by all of North America. That would be absolute vibes. That would be absolute vibes. Ibrahim says, do you rate Jonathan David as a top quality striker? I think he definitely has the potential to push it up there. He needs to show a little bit more. If we're talking about top. If we're talking about creme de la creme, he needs to do a little bit more. But he is a good striker. Fallbush says, John, what do you think about the club? What do you think the club should do in January? What do you want to see? One, we need to bring in a midfielder in the January transfer window. 100%. If Manuel Ugarte is leaving in January, then we need to bring 2 midfielders. Yeah? Because clearly Ruben Amorim doesn't rate Manuel Ugarte at this moment in time. So bring me a midfielder. Bring me 2 midfielders if possible. I don't care. Just bring me a midfielder. And if we're and number 2, if we're not going to be able to give Kobbie Mainoo time to play, then let him go out on loan. That's how I feel. Nate96 says, you going to any World Cup games this summer? I would love to. I would absolutely love to, but it costs so much money. So unless I'm flown out by FIFA or some company or whatever it is, I don't think I'll be able to. But I would love to. I would absolutely love to. Toby Fresh says, which midfielder? Either Wharton or Elliot Anderson. Felix Villa says, break the bank on Anderson and Gomez from Wolves. I wouldn't mind Gomez. I wouldn't mind Gomez for Wolves on in the January window at least, because it seems more doable. Grant Robertson says, I would like Scotland to win the World Cup since I'm Scottish. Shouts out Scotland. How sick would that be? If Scotland pulled up, just absolutely vibed out Scott McTominay, banging in goals here in America, it would be vibes. Fallbush says, I have legit fear of seeing Kobbie Mainoo leave. Me too. I have legit fear as well. But I guarantee you Kobbie Mainoo is not going to leave Manchester United. And if he does leave, it'll only be for a loan. Yeah. Yub says, FIFA thinks we're millionaires with these ticket prices. Nick Bradford says, John trying to get sugar daddied for the World Cup tickets. Hey, yo, look, I've been so grateful with all these brands and companies that wanted to work with me over the summer, because I was privileged and had the opportunity to watch so many of the Club World Cup games this summer. I've never in my life watched that many football games live in 1 year. I watched so many football games this past summer live. It was an unforgettable moment. You have to remember that not all of us have the privilege or the opportunity to be able to go watch top football. You know what I mean? I'm talking about in person. But for me, I was able to watch football here in the summer for Club World Cup. I watched a lot of USL. I watched a lot of the USL Super League, the women's league here. I watched the actual MLS and the NWSL. Wow, yo, dude, I watched so many games this year, man. I watched so many games, and a lot of those games happened because a lot of the brands gave me an opportunity to work with them. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, as a content creator, that's incredible. It takes me one step closer to be able to do content full time. You know, I don't know when that will be, but if I can continue to work with brands and those are the things that I can do, you know, like, why not? Absolutely, why not? Absolutely, why not? And again, and I want to preface that by saying, and I tell you guys this all the time, if it wasn't for y'all in the chat right now, if it wasn't for y'all watching this, none of those games would have been possible. Damn, Grant, thank you for sending the crown. Appreciate you, my man. Is that appearing right here somewhere? Thank you, Grant. Appreciate that. it's been an incredible journey. And if it wasn't for you guys and your support and love and your you know, the time that you spend watching my videos and your likes and your shares and reposts and all that stuff, like if it wasn't for that, like I would never have been able to get the opportunities that I have with other brands and companies and to be able to do fun things. And you know, it's been an incredible journey so far, and I want to say thank you guys so much. And again, like I said, during this summer, I hope that can be the same thing. And I hope that during the summer, I am able to go watch some incredible games. But more so than anything for me, I want to be able to watch Korea. All group stages for Korea are in Mexico, and I know and pray that I hope and pray that Korea make it out of the group stages, which I know they will, by the way. But it's gonna be tough, man. And I really want to see Korea at least play once, you know. Nate96 says, I'm still of the strong opinion that we need an experienced striker. Sheshko, Xerxes, or Cheetah Obi would all benefit and learn and would take the pressure off them. And Osimhen, Mateta, Nate96, you and I are in the same boat. I've always said we needed Harry Kane because we needed that experience. They needed to see somebody like Harry Kane and observe him in the training grounds, during the training sessions, and learn off of him. But it's, you know, again, that is much easier said than done. Nightwing in the chat. What's going on, Ray? He says John got married. Ain't nobody got married. 99 Dolphin says get Dusan Vlahovic, but not for 400K a week. Yeah, there's no way we're spending 400K. No way. Grant Robertson says only if we kept Cavani. Oh. I love Eddie Cavani, man. I love Edinson, man. That was my guy. Srini Vaspai says, who do you think is the next Harry Kane? Oh, the next Harry Kane. When you say the next Harry Kane, what do you mean by that? Do you mean the next England number 9? Or like, what do you mean? Vispo says, nah, John's still lonely. It's okay. Vispo, how the hell did you get out of the Infinity Castle? Get back in there. Boom. Y'all funny. You guys having too much from the chat right now. You guys having too much fun. I think this is a good place for us to wrap it up today. I'm a little bit tired and I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. The Stiletto says, bro, can you even see the chat here? I can see the chat. Wei Sean says, Wagwan John, Wagwan my fam. What's going on? Yes, fam. I think it's a good place. Excuse me. I don't know why. I'm feeling a little bit tired. Today was a good show, I think. Oh my God. I completely thank you so much for reminding me, Ray. I almost ended the damn show without sharing with you guys the news. Yeah, Samelia. I'm so sorry, Samelia. I almost wrapped up the stream without fulfilling my promise here. Sorry about that. Okay, first things first. A quick little reminder. Yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance to sign up for this raffle, please go do so now. Please go do so absolutely right now. Okay, that's the first thing. Go do it right now. Let me pull it up. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say, ayo, ayo. Hold on. Do I have the file with me? Do I need to boom? Boom. Give me a sec, y'all. Give me a sec. Boom. Sendong Lem in the chat while this is loading. Let me read a comment from Sendong. She says, happy hours ahead, John. Heading into work after the break. And may you watch more live watches in 2026. Thank you for that, Sendong. I appreciate you. Give me a second. Let me pull up this video. Where is it? Whatever. I'll just pull up the video. Hold up, everybody. Hold up. Here we are. Boom. Okay. Let's lock in. Everybody, let's lock in. Boom. All right, y'all can see this, right? Y'all can see this?
Wait time. Thanks to you guys, 2025 has been filled with unforgettable memories and incredible moments that I will cherish forever. And in that regard, I have something special for you guys. Look at this. Look at this.
Okay, this box right here. This is a box that I will be able to give to 5 of you lucky Immaculate Collective. Yeah, W's in the chat for Snapdragon, who are a huge sponsor of this, of what we're doing here. Snapdragon basically have given me the opportunity to give away these boxes to any of my Immaculate Collective. So we have 5 of these boxes, and it's an opportunity for y'all to be able to win a Manchester United home kit. Okay, hold up. It's a Manchester United home kit, right, this year, and they'll be able to give it to you in your size that you want, as well as a Manchester United scarf. It's a really awesome gift, and I'm so thankful to Snapdragon for helping me organize this. So shouts out to Snapdragon. Absolutely grateful. So thankful. And this is still running. It's still running. Nick Bradford says San Diego's own Snapdragon. Big up to San Diego Snapdragon. Yeah. This is still running. So all you need to do is find this video on Instagram. Find it. Find this video. All right? Repost it. Tag 2 of your friends in the comment section. And that's all you need to do. And tomorrow evening, I will do the draw. Okay? So if you guys are watching right now and you haven't done so, go to this video right now on Instagram. Repost it. Share it. Yeah? Tag 2 of your friends in the comment section. 2 friends that you would love to go watch at Old Trafford. Okay? Terms and conditions apply. Only residents of the US, UK, Canada, Korea, France, Germany, and Japan can apply. That is not my choice. That was what I was offered to me. So please go do so. Yeah. Ray says, what if you don't have Instagram? Ray, I'm so sorry, but you're going to need to get Instagram for this one. You're going to need to get Instagram. Ray, just make an Instagram for this. Nick, go make an Instagram just for this. Son of Gondor says, damn it, I don't have IG. Guys, just it takes 5 seconds. Just make an Instagram just for this. Just tag. You could tag me and you could tag each other in the comment section. Yeah. You guys can tag yourselves. Ray can tag Nick and Son of Gondor. Yeah. And then Nick can tag Ray and Son of Gondor. And then Son of Gondor can tag Ray and Nick. Yeah. Go make one. Go do it now. Go do it right now. Everybody go do it right now. Go sign up now. I want every single one of y'all that watches my live shows, all of y'all that support me on here. I want you guys to have a chance. Yeah. Halil, I read the chat. I literally answered you just now, my G. I even told you to go read the terms and conditions. Are you listening, fam? Unfortunately, it's only US, UK, Canada, Korea, France, Germany, and Japan because that's where they can only ship it to. Okay. Nightwing says, Ray says, I will use my wife's Instagram, but that will destroy our algorithm. Hey, either you make your own or you go destroy the wife's algorithm. And the second news before we wrap up the stream, this ending dragged on way too long. The second news before we wrap up the stream is a big one. Very, very big. Very big one, this one. A very big one. This Sunday, I will be meeting a Manchester United legend in the state of Texas, the Lone Star State. Shouts out to all my Texans in the chat right now. If you checking in from Texas right now, get involved in the chat right now and let me know what city of Texas you're tuning in from. Shouts out to all my Texans. Yeah, I'm gonna be out there this Sunday. We're coming, Texas. I'm there. I'm gonna be in y'all state. Somebody needs to tell me, how's the weather? Is it cold in Texas? Is it cold in Dallas? Y'all need to tell me what the weather's like. Can I pull up in my shorts? You know what I'm saying? We got Sam Elliott checking in from Dallas. We got Mickey Mick checking in from Dallas. Yay! We got some Dallas. The Dallasians? The Dallas sites? Dallas? What do you guys call yourselves? Dallas folks. Thank you for joining in. But shouts out to my Texans in the chat. Is it cold out there? Y'all gonna have to tell me because I don't know what to pack. And I didn't pay for an extra checked bag because I don't got money like that, you know? Sam Elliott says cold in the morning, okay at night. Okay, cool. So I don't need to bring my puffer jacket? I'm gonna be good with like a light coat type of thing? Mickey says Dallas sites. Is it really Dallas sites? But yeah, I'm gonna be there in Dallas this Sunday. And I'm going to be with a Manchester United legend. I'm going to be with an absolute legend. Okay. Felix says, show up in boots and a cowboy hat, my guy, you'll fit in. My goal is to buy like an actual cowboy, like a serious hat. Like a serious hat. You know what I mean? Serious hat. Jack Reacher, you saying some crazy things right now. I'm not even trying to read that. Srini Vaspai says David Beckham. Nope, it's not David Beckham. It ain't David Beckham. Felix says it's let's go. Finna be Rio. It ain't Rio. It ain't Rio. Rio's in Dubai, I believe. It ain't Rio. It ain't David Beckham, but it is a Manchester United legend. And I'm gonna go see him real quick on Sunday. Yeah. This player, I met him before already. Grant Robertson says Paul Scholes. Nope, it is not Scholesy, although I do want to meet Scholesy. Samelia says, John, go to the Blackfriar. It's the official United pub. If I have time, I'll definitely go. Wait, don't United play on Sunday? Sorry, they play on Monday, but it's at 3. No! I'm gonna be on a plane while they're playing. No! I'm gonna be on a flight on the way back to New York. Hey, Frankie Flo in the chat. Shouts out to, hey, real quick, everybody, go follow I Am Frankie Flo. That's my guy. That's Frankie. That's the legend. That's the OG. W's in the chat for Frankie, and he says the name is Patrice Evra. Oh shoot, I hit the wrong one. I hit the wrong one again. That's right. I'm out there in Dallas. I'm going to be out there in Dallas linking up with Uncle Tonton Patrice Evra. Shouts out to Patrice Evra. I'm going to be out there with Uncle Patrice. W's in the chat. Oct SVT says, Hangnim Yonsei. Huh? Oh, I didn't go to Yonsei, by the way. I don't know if I should be wearing this or not, but I didn't go to Yonsei. I went to NYU. Okay. My little cousin went to Yonsei, and I was so proud of her. And then I was like, I want to rep my cousin, so I wanted to thank her. I wanted to show that I rep her. She should be proud, and then she bought me this. So shouts out to my cousin. But yeah. Felix says, yo, I said Patrice. Yes, you did. You said it too. Absolutely. Grant says, can't miss the Manchester United game and maybe watch the highlights with Evra. Maybe I can watch it with Uncle Patrice. I don't know yet. I don't really know the time schedule, but I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be out there with Uncle Patrice on Sunday in Dallas. Yeah. Let me see. Samelia, I'm gonna try. Let me see if I can answer that for you right now. Samelia, hang tight, Samelia, Samelia. Hold up. Let me see. Boom. Boom. Okay, so if I am not mistaken, I can't remember. I'm trying to find the exact location of where this game is going to be. But there's going to be a game, right, with Uncle Patrice's company called Player App, and I believe a USL team by the name of Atletico Dallas, who are going to be launching, I believe, in 2026. But they are going to be playing a game. I don't know if it's open to the public. I'm just trying to look up. I'm just trying to make sure I have the proper answer for you here. I'm not going to cut off the stream until I can answer this for you. I just want to make sure I answer it correctly. If it is open to the public, if it's not, and if it is, then I can tell you the location. Let me see. Bum 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 bum. Hold up, y'all. Hold up, y'all. Let me find it for y'all. Give me a second, y'all. All right, hang tight. Hang tight. I just want to make sure I get the right answer for you guys. Hold up. Hold up. Player App. Player App USA. Maybe it's here. Nope, not this one. Okay, how about this? Okay, I don't know if I can find it now, but if I can find the information and if it is an open kind of like everybody can come watch it kind of thing, I will leave all the details on my Instagram stories, or I'll put it on Instagram somewhere. And you guys can come and we can connect and we can link and we can have a good time. Yeah. I think it's going to be here at Exposition Park, 831 Exposition Avenue. I believe it's here. And you can check out Atletico Dallas's page. That's where they have the information. But there's a block party on Saturday, which I can't attend because I have something to do on Saturday. So after my event on Saturday, I'm going to fly out on the evening and then attend the game on Sunday. So I'm going to be at the game with Uncle Patrice on Sunday. Yeah. Yub says, when's the next Quasar? Great question, Yub. We're gonna drop the next one as soon as possible. It's been the holidays has been absolutely crazy, but we're trying to figure out the next wave of sessions we can record. Hey, my boy Ahmed in the chat. What's going on, Pharaoh? He says, what do you think of the Mo Salah situation? Says Pharaoh. Ahmed, I'm gonna be honest with you, Pharaoh. I think both Mo Salah and Jamie Carragher could have done better. I will never ever take away from a player and their right to speak their mind. I think Mo Salah has every single opportunity to speak what he wants to speak. You know what I'm saying? And I will never take that away from him. You know, but right now at this moment in time, when Liverpool need somebody to answer, nobody has been able to produce. It's been difficult. Nobody has been able to really take the pressure by the scruff of the neck and be like, yo, we're taking over. I am gonna be the answer for the troubles. You know what I'm saying? And for somebody like Mo Salah, who everybody knows who has all the potential and the power, or as we've seen from a historical perspective, he's done it before. But for somebody that only does, he's literally been in Liverpool for how many years? And he's only done 4 mixed zone interviews. And every time he's come out, it's been something along the lines of Salah for his own benefit. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's never come out for the sake of the football club, you know? And that's where I do kind of understand where Jamie Carragher is coming from. Now, do I agree with the scathing assessment of what Jamie Carragher said? Absolutely not. I think he said a lot of things incorrectly. I think the bashing of him, calling him a Chelsea flop, or even talking about, you know, the whole AFCON situation, I think is quite honestly ridiculous. I don't think Uncle Jamie should have said any of that stuff. You know what I mean? But I understand his frustration just as much as I understand where Mo Salah's coming from. I also understand Jamie Carragher's situation, because from his perspective, he's looking at a leader like Mo Salah who's not been able to produce this season after having won a fat contract. You know, it is unfair that Mo Salah now, in a moment of need, rather than him, like I said in my video, I said, how awesome would it have been if Mo Salah came out into the mix zone, right? When he hasn't heard, when all the Liverpool fans rarely get to hear from Mo Salah during his season, for him to come out into the mix zone and be like, hey, right now, my team, our guys, we're having a tough time. And we feel sorry for the Liverpool fans. We want to do better. We want to win, right? However, I am frustrated, and I'm honestly frustrated that I'm not getting time. I'm being reduced to a bench role, and I'm frustrated. That being said, when I'm given my chance, I will prove why I deserve to stay at Liverpool and why you guys deserve better from all of us. Imagine he said that. In a moment where Liverpool fans are all feeling down and sad and stressed out, imagine he came out and said something like that. Do you know how powerful, how galvanized that message would be for the Liverpool fans? The Liverpool fans, the next game at Anfield, they'll be coming up dressed like Braveheart. They'll be screaming and like, ah! Like they'll be going crazy because that kind of message would have really empowered a Liverpool side, a Liverpool fan base that is desperate for energy, for good vibes, for positivity. But instead, Mo Salah came out, he spoke his mind, which again, I won't say what he did was wrong. I will not say that, but he spoke his mind. And from the perspective of a football club, it feels wrong because he kind of just came out and been like, yo, like he basically just like says that he's being, thrown under the bus and all this stuff. And I feel like that's kind of, with the greatest respect, I don't think anybody's doing that. Maybe we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't. We have no idea, right? It's crazy. But that's just what I think, Brusco TV says, hi John, where are you from? I'm from South Korea, born in Seoul, raised in New York City. Yub says John should be a part of Salah's PR team. No, I'm good. If Pharaoh Talks is still in the chat, he'd probably be in the Salah PR team. Felix Villa says, damn, thanks guys. I used to be Fernando Rana. Oh, it's Fernando. Oh. But yeah, guys, I'm feeling a little bit tired. It's been a long day, and like I said at the top of the show, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. So we've been soldiering on for about an hour and 20 minutes, but I think it's a good place for us to wrap up the show. I am going to properly. Pharaoh says, answer my calls. My man, you call me literally every time I'm either in a meeting or I'm taking a crap or I'm in a shower or something. It's insane. But I did text you back. I said, what happened? All right. Ray says it's been 30 minutes since John said he would need to stop the stream because he isn't feeling well. I'm just out here just vibing with my family. You know what I mean? I'm just vibing here. Guys, by the way, shouts out to Pharaoh Talks. If you guys can go show Pharaoh Talks some love. Let me pull up. If you guys are wondering who's Pharaoh Talks, this is Pharaoh Talks. He don't need my PR because Pharaoh is a very successful content creator in his own right. But every time me and Pharaoh link up, we blow up the internet. So this is I'll show you who Pharaoh Talks is, all right? I'll show you who Pharaoh Talks is.
Player in the world right now.
Son Heung-min.
Ooh, that's a nice take. What about best player in Premier League?
Brun Miguel Borg Fernandes.
Ooh. United, yeah. Okay, best player in La Liga.
Pedri.
Okay, best player in Bundesliga.
Kim Min-jae.
Best player in Serie A.
Rasmus Højlund.
Ooh, what about Ligue 1?
Lee Gang-in of Paris Saint-Germain.
Ooh, okay, that's a nice take. Okay. All right, who's the GOAT of all time?
Of all time?
Yes, sir.
The greatest?
The greatest.
I'm talking the greatest goal scorer.
Greatest of all time, scorer, everything, full.
The animal goat.
Yeah, full package, yeah.
His name is Ji-sung Park.
Facts.
Decent, Park guy is leaving. Decent. He left.
That's Pharaoh. Shouts out to Pharaoh. Shouts out to Pharaoh, my man. All right. Anyways, all right, I'm out of here. We've been messing around for too long. I'm gonna call it a day. It's been a long day. Grant Robertson says the best player in the Premier League is Ji-sung Park. Facts. I'll maybe tell you guys the BTS of that day as well. That day was so much fun, but it was so crazy. It was such a long, freaking long day, and it involves that day. Actually, so it was like a 2-day kind of situation. That day, as well as the day before, involves one of the Avengers, and I'm talking about like the Marvel Avengers. And so it's crazy story. Maybe one day I'll be able to tell you guys that story. Maybe for like 100K YouTube subscriber special, maybe. But I think it'll take ages for us to have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. But it's all good. Ain't no problem with that. Herbert says best player for the World Cup. I'll tell you right now, Herbert Aguilar. I'll tell you right now. What the hell's going on with my mouth, Mike? Oh shit. Ow. The best player for the World Cup in the World Cup. His name is Son Heung-min. Sorry, before I leave, I didn't say goodbye yet. So be happy, be healthy, take care of your loved ones. And until next time, I'll see y'all's latest. Peace.